What is up guys, welcome to another video. That Geeky guy here. Today we'll be talking about 5 tips to improve your gameplay. Now this video is especially helpful for beginner, however advanced players can also find some uses in this video. Tip number 1. Always arsenal whenever possible. This is especially important because an additional card in the arsenal allows you to have an edge over your opponent. Now, the card in your arsenal could be a defense reaction, any type of attack action, or even a non-attack action such as Plunder Run, which is an obvious arsenal choice. Now, for more information on arsenals, you guys can check out my video that I made a few months ago, which talks about the importance of arsenal and to arsenal the right way. Now, some of the arsenal choices that are obvious are defense reaction, which is obviously useful in defending against your opponent. On the other hand, having an additional card in your arsenals is equivalent to having 5 card hand. Now, card advantage is very important in Flesh and Blood. Tip number 2, look out for attack reaction. During the reaction phase, and if you are the defending hero, you might want to look out for the remaining floating resources. Usually 1 floating resources could spell a Razor, or 2 floating resources will be a Pummel. Now, classes that play Pummel are usually Guardian, Viserai, or Prism. Now, classes that play Razor on the other hand could be Warrior or Katsu. So it is important to look at the number of cards in your opponent's hand and also the resources they have remaining floating. Tip number 3. When defending, it is better to ask your opponent if they have additional attack reaction before playing out your defense reaction. So the sequence of events should be as so. Your opponent plays out an attack action. What you generally should say is basically, I'm not defending, any more reactions. So if your opponent plays out a reaction, just go ahead and play your defense reaction. Now if your opponent doesn't play any reaction, you can still play your defense reaction, but remember your opponent can still react with another attack reaction. This is especially useful against warrior players that have effects such as reprise, which basically depends on you playing a defense reaction out of your hand. Tip number 4. Sometimes it's okay to go second, especially if you are playing an aggressive deck. If you're playing an aggro deck, it's especially useful to go second because in Flesh and Blood TCG, during the first round, the player gets to actually draw up their card. So by going second, you're actually putting pressure upon your opponent by forcing them to actually remove some of their cards in order to defend, hence putting the momentum in your favor. Tip number 5. Remember what you pitch. Whatever you pitch in the early game will come back to you in the late game, especially if it's a longer game and if you are playing a control deck or you are against a control deck. So it is okay to pitch a red card once in a while or pitch certain cards in certain sequences in order to get them back during the late game. So that's it guys, the 5 tips for beginner. If you want to get better at the game, of course, feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm making content quite frequently. And see you guys in the next one. Also check out the Discord link down in the description, Twitter link, if you guys can actually reach me out on that, and also my Patreon page. Thank you again guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.